High Court sitting in Abuja has refused to grant medical leave application filed by former governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Godwin Emefiele, on the ground that there is no evidence that the former Apex Bank governor is plagued with any ailment. The court on Tuesday thereafter refused to release his international passport to travel to the United Kingdom for medical treatment. Details of the court proceeding as made available by the Public Relations Unit of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in its news release few minutes ago are presented verbatim below. Justice Hamza Muazu of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT High Court Maitama, Abuja, on Tuesday, July 16, 2024 dismissed the application of the former governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, for a leave of the court to travel to the United Kingdom, UK, for medical examination, stating that there was no evidence to show that the defendant is plagued by any ailment. Emefiele had, through his lawyer, Ladi Lawal, on Monday, July 8, 2024 filed an affidavit seeking the release of his passport to enable him embark on a UK medical trip, which was opposed by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, through its prosecution counsel, Muhammad Abbas Omiza, through a counter-affidavit, told the court that there was no medical report before it that showed that the defendant was plagued by an ailment, and if there was, no evidence was advanced by the defense to show that it could not be treated locally in Nigeria. The prosecution counsel in addition noted that Emefiele deposited his passport with the court as part of the fulfillment of his bail conditions, arguing that releasing it to him would amount to the court varying his bail conditions. Arguing also that Emefiele was a flight risk, the prosecution counsel noted that the defendant has co-conspirators all over the world. One Anita and Tony are all aides of the defendant who are currently in the UK. The defendant might be tempted to jump bail because he is standing trial in 3 different courts. In response, the defense counsel dismissed the prosecution's arguments as speculative, noting that the EFCC can issue an international red alert on Emefiele to enable his arrest if he made the foreign medical trip and refused to come back. In dismissing the application on Tuesday, Justice Muazu held that there was no medical report indicating that Emefiele was plagued by any ailment and that the fact that he is standing trial in 3 different courts was fatal to the application. It is an exercise of the court's discretion to allow the defendant to go on a medical trip. The defendant, through his counsel, undertook an affidavit to produce him in court, and his offences are available, and where there is need for the court to grant him the application to travel, the court should do so, but as it is, I fail to see any letter of medication in the defendant's applications. As it stands, I cannot exercise my discretion to allow the defendant to travel out of the shores of the country. Moreover, he is also standing trial in 3 other courts, therefore the application has failed, and hereby dismissed, the judge held. The EFCC is prosecuting Emefiele on 20 count amended charges bordering on conferment of corrupt advantages, conspiracy, criminal breach of trust, forgery, and obtaining by false pretenses to the tune of $6,230,000, $6,230,000 United States dollars.
OsazuwaAkonedo, bringing you the news in a more digital way.